Hi, in this tutorial, I'm going to go through the different types of settings that we have in the Zoom platform to be able to help you manage your Zoom live sessions and meetings better. These are both settings that are within the main settings menu in the Zoom platform when you're logging in through the website. And also when you launch a meeting, there are certain settings on there that you can also use to help you manage your meeting then. So first, I'm going to go through the large list of the settings from the Zoom platform itself on the web. So I just went ahead and went to zoom.us and logged in. And along the side menu here, I just clicked on settings. And as I scroll down, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the main settings that you should have either on or off to help you with your Zoom meetings. So first of all, I've toggled off everything that deals with my personal ID. I'd rather have launched new new ID meetings every time that I schedule a meeting, just like new links. If you keep the same personal ones, then it's a lot easier for different students to join different meetings. So it's definitely better practice to keep it more secure, to not use your personal meeting IDs or use the same type of links over and over again and schedule a new different meeting every time that you're going to have a Zoom session. Mute participants upon entry as we scroll down. Make sure that's toggled on. That's really important. And when I launch the meeting and show you that later, you'll see that you can also prevent them from being able to unmute themselves as well. But make sure that all participants are muted when they first log in. Chat, make sure that you've toggled off private chat, and that way participants cannot have one-to-one messages with each other. I toggle on auto-saving chats because when I'm recording my Zoom sessions, and this only works if you have a Mac or a Windows PC or laptop, this is only going to work from the actual Zoom app that you've downloaded. You can't do that from a Chromebook because it's only going to save to your local device with our accounts. So I do toggle on auto saving chats. So it does automatically save my chat window along with automatically recording my meetings when I'm using my app from my laptop. Playing the sound when participants join or leave is also important because if you're enabling your waiting rooms, which I suggest that you do, that's so you could hear that when someone's coming in, so you know that you need to admit someone into the room. File transfer, I have toggled off, and that way no one is able to send files through the meeting chat. Feedback to Zoom, and that's really not something that's important right now that we need to have. Allow the host to put attendee on hold. Make sure you're able to toggle that on. That's how you can remove someone from the meeting. Always showing your control toolbar is also important to keep on. So if you're sharing your screen for any moment, you're still able to see your toolbar. Showing the Zoom window during screen share, make sure that's toggled on. Screen sharing, make sure that only the host is able to share their screen. This is something that you can change during a meeting if for any reason you want to have a student share their screen, but by default, you should only just be the host when you have that on. Annotation and whiteboard options, you can toggle that on. Once again, that's something that's only going to work on the app. It's not going to work on the Chromebook if you're launching a meeting. Allowing participants that were removed to rejoin, make sure you toggle that off. So if you do kick somebody out, they are not able to rejoin the meeting. Breakout rooms, make sure that that's toggled on if you want to have students be able to join breakout rooms. Virtual background is only going to work if you have an iOS device or if you have the downloaded app on your laptop or a Mac. And also, if you have a very clear background wall, will the virtual background work? So that's not going to work for everyone. The waiting room, make sure that you have enabled the waiting room to be able to admit attendees, and also allowing to join from the browser link, as depending on the device that students are joining from, they may not have the ability to have the Zoom app downloaded. From there, those are the main ones from the main settings page that you should have set up this way to be able to set up your meetings for optimal discussion. Also, right next to it, there's a recording option. I like to hit automatic recording to record on the local computer. That way, whenever I'm launching my meeting from the app with my students and I'm working from my laptop, I know that automatically when I launch the meeting, it's already going to automatically record and it's already going to automatically save my chat as you saw before. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a meeting and I'm going to show you the settings that are within a meeting itself that you can also set when the meeting's about to start. So I'm going to go ahead and start a meeting with video. And I'm going to click on Manage Participants and I'm going to click on Chat. So when I click on Manage Participants, down here, there's the option for more. If I click on the more option here, I will be able to make sure that my mute participants upon entry is on. I want to uncheck allow participants to unmute themselves. This means that only I can control when they can unmute themselves. So if I see a student uses their reactions and raises their hand, I can go ahead and then unmute that particular student to speak, but they don't have the option of unmuting themselves. I'm also going to uncheck allowing participants to rename themselves. So if I have then made participants when they join, part of the requirement of joining the meeting is to be admitted. You need to join with your first and last name. When I see that on the waiting room, I admit you and your video needs to be on. If your video is not on, I will kick you out. And once I see that they have joined in with their video with their first and last name, I also want to make sure that they've unchecked this rename option because that way they cannot change their name. And I want to make sure that this is checked on, that participants are in waiting room on entry, so they cannot come in until I've admitted them in. You can go ahead and once everybody's in the meeting, if you see that everyone is there that you want to be there, you can go ahead and lock the meeting. Or if you see that you have too many people joining this particular session, and you want to lock the amount of people coming in, you can also go ahead and lock the meeting. So these are settings that when you first launch your meeting, you can go ahead and make sure that these two are on and these two are off. Also, for the chat window down at the very bottom when you're going to type in your messages, these three little dots, this is where from the desktop option, you'll be able to save your chat, but this is also where you can control your chat box and how it works. Right now, everybody can chat with everyone publicly on the chat. However, I can change that and put host only, which means that participants are only able to chat with me. So any questions, anything that they write would only be visible to me and not to the rest of the room. So you can go ahead and change that option. And you can also click on no one if you want to take off the chat feature for any reason. So maybe if I am sharing my screen for a reason and I can't look at the chat window for right now, and I don't want to see anything on the chat at the moment, I can stop the chat while I'm not looking at it. And then when I come back, I can go ahead and put it back onto host and welcome if anybody has any questions and have them type them in. So these settings within the Zoom browser and then within launching the meeting should help you be able to manage your meetings with your students a lot better. All right, thanks for watching.